Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Can't wait to get started with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey, everyone. I'm Brandon, a United States Air Force veteran, and I'm excited to share a bit about my journey with you today. The military has been a huge part of my life since I joined at 17. It was my one and only focus. Why? Because I wanted to serve my country, and that decision shaped who I am today, disciplined, motivated, and quick to adapt. Now, while I was in and post-service, I always hear a lot about how the military is having a tough time getting folks to sign up. Is no one interested in serving anymore? Has today's youth lost hope in our government to do the right thing? Today, I want us to dig into that, to really understand why enlistment is becoming such a challenge. It's personal to me because the military gave me so much, and I want to figure out how we can make sure it stays strong and appealing for others. So let's explore together, unpacking possible reasons behind today's enlistment challenges. I'm here to share some insights and hopefully spark a conversation about how we can address this issue head on. Thanks for being here, and let's get started. Working as a Scrum Master in an Agile team is a dynamic and collaborative experience that involves facilitating the Agile development process. I had the privilege to serve as a Scrum Master in our team during this coding boot camp. This role involves fostering a culture of continuous improvement and helping the team overcome any blockers that may hinder their progress. We would participate in daily stand-up meetings where I would encourage open communication and transparency, allowing team members to discuss their progress, challenges, and plans. One of the key responsibilities is to shield the team from any external disruptions, enabling them to focus on delivering high-quality increments of work during each sprint. During our 12-week cohort, leveraging Jira was our project management tool proved instrumental in orchestrating our agile development process. The platform provided a centralized hub for our team, facilitating the planning and execution of sprints with precision. Jira's user-friendly interface allowed us to create and manage tasks seamlessly, ensuring that our assignments were well-defined and aligned with our overarching project goals. The sprint planning sessions became more efficient and collaborative as Jira enabled us to break down user stories, assign tasks, and estimate effort effortlessly. The real-time visibility into each team member's progress through customizable dashboards helped us stay on track and promptly identify any bottlenecks or impediments. Jira's integration with other tools allowed for a streamlined workflow, enhancing communication and collaboration within the team. In essence, employing Jira as our project management solution during the 12-week cohort significantly contributed to the success of our agile practices, ensuring that we met our objectives with efficiency and transparency. Now, before we get started diving deep into the data, I would like to provide some statistical insights to give you a little idea of what we'll be talking about today. For our labor market, most challenging labor market since the inception of the all-volunteer force, which has been around for 50 years. 50% of youth admit they know little to nothing about the military service. 71% of youth do not qualify for military service because of obesity, drugs, physical and mental health problems, misconduct, and aptitude. 79% of recruits have a relative who served. Only 1% of the population currently serves, and the veteran population is declining. On a side note, 3,400 troops were involuntarily separated from service for refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Here we have the data. Before we got started, I had to gather all these data sets together. I had to make sure they were in the correct format. I had to clean them, make sure there's no nulls, all that stuff. Here I use two different programs. I've used Python and SQL. Here you can see I use Python to create a matplotlib. I wanted to get a little bit of an insight into what I was getting into, and that allowed me to do it quick and easy. The other side here on Python, I used it to communicate with SQL, where I used it to change column names within a table. And then down below here, I have two examples of SQL. Here I created a new table labeling the column names that I wanted to have. And then over here, doing the same thing, but doing it for active duty totals. And then there was a lot more cleaning. Here we have a data set where I had two different datas that I needed in different tables. So here you can see that this is what I did to split those two tables. And then here I have a pivot table to give me a better idea of all the numbers for all the enlisted personnel inside the DoD. Now on to the meat. This is the Air Force enlistment goals and recruitment. Now you can see here for the enlistment rate, we have a steady decline leveling off between 2016 and 2019 about, and then it continues on a downward trajectory. And then here, most recently in 2023, you can see that the Air Force missed its goal by about 1,000 people. And here are the comments the Air Force gave about its recruitment challenges. The military's recruiting chief said they are making progress in meeting recruiting goals for fiscal 2024, even in the face of what one called one of the toughest recruiting landscapes I've seen in over 33 years of service. Here we have the Army, a little worse off than the Air Force, starting strong here in 2013, but continuing on a really steep decline to 26,000. Again, leveling off between 2016 and 2019 about, and then continuing down the same trajectory. And in 2023, you can see the Army missed its enlistment rate by about 6,000 people. This is the Army's comments on its recruiting challenges. Military recruiting is a war. It's just a different kind of war than what you were prepared and trained to fight for. Recruiting is a war for talent. Smart, competent, and capable people are rare and in high demand. The Marines was one of the most consistent data sets that I saw. You can see here they are on a continuous decline for enlistment, but they're continuously meeting their numbers or exceeding their numbers. And then most recently here in 2023, meeting their numbers exactly. I found joy reading this, but this is the Marines' comments on their recruitment challenges. Your bonus is that you get to call yourself a Marine, Smith said. That's your bonus. There's no dollar amount that goes with that. Here is the Navy, probably the worst data set I did see. Here we have a steep drop coming from 2013 to 2014, missing their recruitment goal by about 8,000 people. Continuing on a steady decline, coming up just a little bit in 2018, and then continuing back down on its trend. Here, most recently here in 2023, you can see they missed it by almost 5,000 people. Here's the Navy's comments on their recruiting challenges. The Navy understands we are in a challenging recruitment environment, and we are focused on making sure that every active component sailor who wants to remain on active duty has that opportunity. Looking at the numbers, it's clear that GDP has been following a consistent trajectory, steadily increasing since 2013. Now, when we revisit our enlistment figures, we see a different story, a consistent decline each year. Interestingly, at this point, there doesn't appear to be a direct connection between the enlistment rates and GDP. The economic growth is there, but it doesn't seem to be translating into more people joining up. Let's dive deeper into these trends and see if we can uncover more insights into what's driving enlistment patterns despite the positive GDP trend. Here we have retention. This is the total amount of active duty enlisted personnel in the DoD. I wanted to see if there was a correlation between a Republican or Democrat in office and enlistment numbers going up. So here you see 2009 to 2017, we have Barack Obama, which starting here in 2013, which is where our data set begins, we see a decline. And it's only coming up here in between 2016 and 2017. 2017 to 2021, we have Donald Trump, and we see it going up consistently until 2021, where we have Joseph Biden, where we see it decline again. It would be safe to say that retention and enlistment is high when a Republican is in office, with only 1 year that increases when a Democrat is president. But with further analysis, I would like to push this out 20, 30, 40 years to see if this trend continues on its current path. In the past decade, we observed unemployment rates noting a peak in 2020 due to the impact of COVID-19. Here you can see it at 14.7%. However, upon comparing this with enlistment data across various branches, there doesn't appear to be noticeable correlation. Despite high unemployment in 2020, enlistment rates in the different branches remained relatively stable or continued on their current trend. Here I have my sources labeled. I had to go through 10 years of press releases from the Office of the Undersecretary to get all their enlistment goals and how many people they actually got to enlist. I also used the Bureau of Labor Statistics, U.S. unemployment data set, GDP and personal income, active duty military personnel by rank and grade. In conclusion, our comprehensive analysis has shed light on the intricate relationship between military enlistment and various socioeconomic factors. While our findings revealed limited correlations between political affiliations and enlistment rates, the data presented a nuanced picture. Surprisingly, there was no substantial evidence to suggest a direct connection between enlistment and unemployment rates. Moreover, the examination of GDP and military enlistment hinted at a potential inverse correlation, suggesting that economic prosperity might not necessarily lead to increased enlistment. These outcomes emphasize the complexity of the decision-making process behind joining the military, indicating that it is influenced by multifaceted factors beyond the scope of just traditional economic indicators or political ideologies. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you so much.